So, for my experience, I learned Dynamo, but still not much expertise in that. So, after this course is completed, whether you will be providing some support or
You always
some
will be having supports.
right?
Basically, what
Yeah.
happens is like if you are having a 30 days course, all 30 days you will be having one classes, maybe 1 or 2 days break here and there. But it is not
Mhm.
guaranteed that within 30 days everybody will be a master in something. You are introduced
Right.
to topics, then you will be testing it out in different scenarios where you might having
Right.
a lot of doubts. Then you can obviously
Yep.
approach us. That's what happens with batch after batch. We are still providing support for the very first batch we
Mhm.
started years back.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so because definitely I experienced from the last session also that we'll be needing a lot of supports even when we are trying it on our own.
Yeah,
That's
it's understandable.
okay.
That's how it is.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So anybody else also would like to add something or having any doubts, something in mind? See, guys, this is don't consider this as like a demo session where I'll be speaking and you will be listening, and after that you will say Tata Baba and leave. You are here, you are putting
Okay.
your 30 minutes or 1 hour here, so make use of that. If you have anything in your mind, just shoot out. Then we will make this as a discussion forum. Yes, somebody
So
was
there's
about
a
to say.
today is just an overview. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
am
just a
sure.
demo.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a demo, and like you are telling like what software we are using
Yes.
for Python and like that.
I will walk you through the roadmap. I'm assuming that
Yeah.
you just know Dynamo to some extent, but what after Dynamo? If you're having something in that mind, what should I learn? I'm a bit scared about programming. What next? And if I learn those things, how will I be attributed with those things? So I'll just walk you through those steps.
Yeah, like applications and benefits. So
Exactly.
I think right.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
because right now, yeah. So I'm looking forward for more into the practical
Yeah,
implementation stuff at this moment. Yeah.
I can promise that
Thanks.
I'm
Actually,
not
Kumar,
going to torture you with lectures here. So one thing is guaranteed.
No, no. Thanks.
Yeah. Yes, somebody was about to ask something.
yeah, actually, I haven't joined Dynamo class because I already working on Dynamo from 2 years. So like I consulted Rajesh and some shared some script which I generated. So he guide me like you directly jump to like Dynamo Python scripting because you already know this much. So no need for Dynamo. Actually, that class started only on 20, na?
Hmm. Hmm.
So up till now, I think more days are remaining for Dynamo
Yeah.
persons to complete.
So if you
Yeah,
are already proficient in Dynamo, I would not even say proficient. If you have some basic understanding of Dynamo, and if you really wish to see what is happening inside the programming world, then obviously I would suggest you to directly come to this class than to go to the Dynamo class.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
no issue. You just have to know
Hello,
where is the
hello,
Dynamo
sir.
button and revert. Yes.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Sir, I am working on Revit API for the last 8 to 12 months,
Okay.
and I want to learn. I don't know much about MVVM and that type of uh, architectures
Okay.
and WPF,
Okay.
that type of things.
Okay.
User interface and more about Revit fabrication. Also, I don't know
Okay.
because there the geometry is different. So I want to learn that.
Okay. We have a certain class where we will be teaching you with WPF, MBBM patterns that will come under add-ins classes. Here we will be more focusing inside the Dynamo environment. We will be teaching more about Python. What you are asking is more related to C Sharp. We do also have that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
where we will be
understand.
teaching exactly about what you asked for MBBMs and architectures, stuffs like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we are already into the prescribed time. So I'll just give a brief intro about myself. Since there are more people, I can't invite everybody to go round robin to introduce everybody. So I'll just overall get an idea of what level of experience you have. So I will just ask you to put yourself in the chat, like just type how much amount of experience you have in Dynamo. Are you new to Dynamo, or you have some 1 or 2 years or 3 months, 1 month experience in Dynamo? Just put it in the chat so I will be able to know what type of audience I'm taking the class to. Okay, in the meantime, myself Kumar, and I will be, in case you are opting for this course, I will be a tutor for the next 30 days when it comes to Rivet API. I am a add-in developer who develops add-ins for Autodesk products like Rivet, Navisworks, and AutoCAD. And I also been doing Python for a very long time, and we have already taught more than 100 students in throughout this patches. I'm not speaking about Dynamo, I'm speaking only about Rivet API related and Python related and C sharp stuffs. Yeah. And if you ask me, I'm not a programmer basically. I started my career as a civil engineer. I was a BIM modeler in one of the companies where I was simply doing some modeling stuff. Since I was civil engineer, I was doing structures. Then later on, I'm doing some MEP stuffs and learned Dynamo, then went into Python, and then now doing add-ins. So it is not that only programming is only for CS and IT background students. Anybody with core knowledge, if you have some analytical skills, and if you are the person who is very much interested in problem solving, of course programming is for you. Yes, I already got few responses. It is actually good to know. New, just learned. Good. Somebody just mentioned M3. I heard that is my one of my engineering papers. Why are you reminding me of that? 2.5 years, 4 years, good. 6 months, great. A lot of newbies and few people have experiences. That's all good. Okay, I'll mostly speak in terms of beginners perspective. Okay. And I would also suggest that everybody please stay on mute unless and until, if you have doubts, you can always unmute yourself, stop me, and then ask your doubts. I'm always ready to answer. But until then, just to avoid disturbances to everybody, please everybody stay on mute. I'm still getting a lot of noises, so I will unmute few people if I'm hearing some background noises. I hope you understand. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Kumar,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Uh, just for Revit, for Dynamo. So Rajesh only teach Dynamo or
Yes.
Python also. He
Uh,
teach Dynamo.
Actually, he taught Dynamo. I will be your Python trainer.
And for C sharp,
I'll
some
be, yeah.
you only
Still, I'll be
teaching.
the only
Yeah.
the trainer.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to disappoint you. You are expecting Rajesh, and I'm here and seeing a new guy who's speaking some rubbish. So just wait for another 30 minutes, and then I will let you decide whether you if you
It's
really
not
like
like
this
that
trainer or not.
actually.
Okay.
It's not
So
like that.
sorry for
So no
disappointing you with
problem.
Rajesh. I will just inform
No, it's
Rajesh that
not like
your students are very much interested in you.
I haven't learned Dynamo by Rajesh actually. So actually I taken the like a demo course for Dynamo, demo session for Dynamo only
Okay.
that Rajesh has taken on like 15th.
Then I'm fine. You can't judge me with Rajesh. So one relief for me. Okay, we are getting some more responses. Anyways, thanks for asking. I have finished Dynamo course Bimmer a few months ago, but didn't practice much. Okay, fine. Have attended Dynamo course, but not very efficient in Dynamo. That's fine. But look, if you are good in Rivet and if you know some basics of Dynamo, that's more than enough. Okay, basically, since everybody is here because you have some common interest with respect to Dynamo, which means that you know that Dynamo can automate a lot of process. Dynamo is what basically? Can anybody just give me a quick answer? What is Dynamo? It's kind of a visual programming tool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like kind of a
It
graph.
is
So
written scripts available in form of nodes. So through that we can, by using them, so
Okay,
we can generate a program within the Revit.
exactly. Isn't it more like flowchart? If you know the process, see, I want to collect elements, then I wanted to get the parameters of the element, then I wanted to update the parameters of the element. You're just splitting them into different processes, and you just search through the process name, and approximately you get some nodes, and then you connect from left to right and then complete the process, which is more or less like a flowchart. Okay. So does Dynamo does need any programming knowledge for us to create nodes? Obviously no. That's why we call it as visual programming. Visual programming is nothing but the programming will happen in the backend. You just have to place the nodes one after the others, and meaningfully connect them to just acquire or accomplish a process. Okay. Then if I know Dynamo up to this extent, I know what Dynamo could do. So what I can do from now on, that's the question. Why should I even try to learn Python? Everybody here, I think, is aware of using external packages. Yes or no? You guys know what is packages? Downloading packages, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. As a newbie, at least I can speak for myself. When I learned Dynamo, I started downloading all the packages from the internet. So at some point of time, when I look at my Dynamo library screen, so if I can show you, if I just open this library screen, it will be full of packages, like 30 packages, 40 packages, and I will be start using a lot of package nodes, and then finally I even forget which node is from which package. At least in the latest versions of Dynamo, we have the option to filter out which node is from which package, but in the olden times, not very much old, in the 2018s or 19, that was also not even possible. So one of the greatest disadvantages of using package is that the package has to be maintained very well. When they update the packages, they will be changing some few names, and once you are done with all the packages and you are providing your script for others to test, and assume that that person is very having very limited amount of knowledge in Dynamo, which means that he or she will not be knowing what packages. So when the moment bang he opens the script, what he sees, anyone? Full of red color notes. Why is that?
That clear and question mark notes all.
Yeah, always question marks and red color
Sometimes,
notes.
yeah.
Not sometimes, always.
So, yeah, from 2020.1 up till 2020.1.
Yeah, after that at
Yeah.
least they will be some having some suggestions. These packages are missing. So take in the fact that that person doesn't even know what is those packages at all. Okay, assume that your boss asked you to do something and you're preparing a script, and then your boss tried to open it, and then he doesn't even understand what to do. Okay. So in that case, packages comes with the greatest disadvantage that everybody will not be having all the packages whichever you're using. Okay. And it is very hard to find what functionality is existing in what package. Most often the process will be like people will be going into Google and then going into Dynamo forum and will be start searching for answers, and there people will be suggesting or using certain packages, and you will be start trying to replicate the same process. That's how you come to know which package node and what functionality is present in that is available. There is no standard dictionary or library which says if you wanted to perform this process, you should directly go to this package. This comes with experience, that is true, but if you are a newbie, it is very hard for you to find packages. So what can we do in that case? Has anybody opened a package node and see what is written inside that? Someone? I can just try to see if I can.
Customized notes
Yes,
only.
I.
Maximum time.
Okay. So assume that this is one of the package node, and I can clearly see which is a package node and which is a normal node by just its appearance. Because when you see multiple boxes or boxes in the backend, you can say that this is a custom node or a package node. Can I edit this custom node? Anyone? Is it
Yes.
possible? How to do this?
Yeah, that is possible. So right click and edit and
Right click and say edit custom node, or you can
yeah,
just double tap
you
on
will
this
see
empty space.
Python node. Yeah.
Okay, you just go into this and then you directly jump into something with a yellowish screen, which means you are in a customized or custom node environment, and it is having a Python script within this. Not every custom node will be having a Python script, but I can guarantee you that at least 80 to 90 percentage of custom nodes will be having Python script in this. So which means I can say that custom nodes are nothing but a set of commands written inside Python. So if I know Python, then which means that I will not be dependent on these custom nodes anymore. Okay, if I understand what is this import CLR means, what is this if conditions, what is this diff keyword means, then I will be start able to write my own code. Okay, in the initial point of time, when you actually see this piece of code, it is like haunting. What the hell is being written here? It is like gibberish. Okay, can anybody decode what is been happening here? Anyone? Any Python experienced people here, or any commoner? Just give your suggestions. What's happening here? Anybody?
It's calling.
Okay, calling.
It's like yeah, it's calling functions from Revit API. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's mainly using Revit API set of instructions.
Okay. Yes, exactly. It is using Revit
Mhm.
API. I can also see options from chat. The custom node is similar to functions in API. Exactly. Yes. Custom node is nothing but a set of commands written inside Python. So where is these commands coming from? We will be discussing that today. And yes, of course, we are using try and except block. Try and except is nothing but a methodology inside Python. So don't worry. Ensuring functions doesn't trip. Yes, exactly. That is also the purpose of try and except. Yes, there is a lot of steps happening here. Okay, but if you are a newbie and directly looking into this code, you will be obviously scared. Okay, so in order to understand what is happening here, you need to basically know what should I know in the first place to come here and understand things like that. Okay, just one thing I wanted to clarify: whether you are joining this course or not, that doesn't matter. Just try to patiently listen for the next 10 minutes, because I will walk you through the roadmap. Even though you are not joining this course, this roadmap will be highly helpful if you can self learn yourself. Okay, so what you wanted to learn, if you are clear in those aspects, then it is easy for you to take a step forward and then learn it from there. Okay, basically I wanted to start from Python. Okay, uh, where can I learn Python? There is a lot of resources available in the internet. You can go to YouTube. A lot of free YouTube videos are available with respect to Python. Basically I learned Python from YouTube mainly. If you are really ready to pay, there is a lot of Udemy courses. You can go to Coursera. A lot of online platforms which are offering Python related courses for free as well as paid versions. Whichever you want, you can learn. Okay, but how much extent should I learn as a core, as a core person? I'm not an IT or CS background person. I'm not here to develop a large scale application. I don't want to build a website. I don't want to build an application like Revit. So then how much amount of programming should I know? How much amount is enough for me to write a custom node, something like this? Okay, you just have to learn four basic topics. Okay, if you wanted to note it down, just note it down. Anyways, I believe that you will be getting this recording after today's session, so if you just wanted to pay attention, it's totally fine. First, you have to start with how to declare variables and what is data types. Can anybody tell me what is a data type here? Because in Dynamo you would definitely using data types. Any examples of data types?
It's a
Integer,
string, integer.
Yeah, integer
integer,
string,
double string,
number.
boolean.
Exactly. Everybody,
Like
everybody
types
is
of
accept.
input we can give.
Yes, exactly. Okay, there is a lot of experts here. That's totally good to see. For people who doesn't understand what is integer, what is string, alphanumeric values are called as strings. Okay, if you totally write it in terms of numbers, we call them as, okay, let me just put it in quick words. So if I write something in an alphanumeric value, you can take Revit parameters. Okay, I can click on any wall. I can say this comments value is an alphanumeric value. I can start writing ABC, then I can start also putting numbers after this. I can put symbols. All these things are accepted because this is a text parameter. So this text parameter is what in program world we call it as strings. Strings is nothing but a combination of alphanumeric values, one data type over. Okay, so I hope everybody here knows how to model walls. In the walls, if you go to base offset, you can only enter numeric values. I can say the base offset to be 100,000, -1,000, -500. Those values are accepted. I cannot go here and type ABC and leave it. It will give me errors. Okay, so this parameter, I can say this is a numeric parameters. So again, in data types we have numeric data types. Again, in the two numeric data types, I have two different types. One is integer, another was one is, anyone? First one is integer, the other one is, two types of numeric databases.
Float. Double.
Okay. I can see
Double,
people,
double.
few
Doubles.
people saying double and few people saying float. Anyone? Only one thing is right. With respect to Python, which one it is?
Float.
Okay. How many of you say
Float,
float?
float.
Actually, float and
Yeah,
double
float, I
both are
think.
same. Okay. Both mean
Both are tuple.
both
Yeah.
both are actually fractional values or decimal values. If I say 100, it is an integer. In simple words, I can say whole numbers are integers. 100 minus 100, 5 minus 5, these either it is positive or negative. Whole numbers can be classified as integers. If you are putting decimal points or if you are adding fractional values, can I say 100.5? This is coming under fractional values and I will call this as float. So then what is the difference between float and double? Double is a name given for decimal values in C sharp. C sharp is nothing but another programming language. We spell it as C sharp, but in real world, it is actually written as C followed by #. Okay, this is one of the programming language. So with respect, if you know this programming language, you will be able to write your own add-ins. That is advanced level. Like Python is one of the programming language, and same way C sharp is also another programming language. Okay, so in C sharp it is called as double. In Python it is called as float. That's the only difference. So we have seen string data type. Numeric data types can be classified into two types. One is integer and another is double. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubts with respect to this? Any doubts? Or at least you care to say I'm clear?
Yeah, clear, clear, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yes. We have other data types like true false, we call them as booleans. Then we have list data types. Under list we again have multiple subdivisions, we call them as normal list. We have tuples, we have set, we have dictionaries. Again, these will be added on. These are all considered just as a different data types. Okay, basically if you understand what is string, what is integer, and what are the list data types, that is enough. Up to this, that is over. Okay, now you have covered data types. Now come to the next part. You have
So,
to perform. Yes,
hello,
yes,
hello, Kumar. So,
yes.
tuple, just if I elaborate tuple here. So, actually, I am like difficulty in understanding tuples. Okay.
Okay, um okay,
A tuple, yeah.
okay, I will just put it in very simple words. We are not going to dive deep into every data type. Since you asked, I'll just explain in very simple words. A list is something that can be altered. I can create an empty list. Okay, then I can add values to this, then I can delete values to this, then I can insert values to this in whichever place I want. Okay, tuple is also a list. Once it is created, I cannot add values, I cannot delete values, I cannot insert values. Okay, it is like unaltered list. It is like
Okay,
altered
okay. We
list.
can't make any changes. Yeah.
Any changes. Okay, list is like your girlfriend,
Yeah.
you can change it at any point of time. Tuple is like your wife. Once married, you have to stick to that. You can't change, you can't run away. Okay, does it
Yeah,
make sense?
exactly. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely I don't think you will be
Hello,
forgetting the
Kumar.
difference between tuple and list. Yes.
Not yet.
Yeah, just one question here. This the tuple. Let's suppose I have a 5 variables in the tuple, so I can replace it the variable, right? But I cannot expand or change
No, you
that
can't.
list, right?
No, you can't do any other
Okay.
operation
But
after declared.
okay, okay.
Okay,
No, thank you.
okay, great. Okay, again, these are coming under different types of list. Okay, we are not going to see everything in detail. I'm just introducing you to topics which are necessary for you to understand. Okay, and of course I will take doubts if you have anything, and if you want me to explain anything in detail, that's fine. Okay, then after that you wanted to perform operations on the data types, arithmetic operations, how to add items, how to subtract items, how to divide items. Okay, these are arithmetic operations. Then we have to perform comparison operations, whether this number is greater than the other number, how to perform greater than operations, how to perform less than operations, equal to operations, not equal to operations. These all things we will call it as comparison operations. First is arithmetic operation, second is comparison operation, third one is logical operations, and keyword and conditions, or conditions. Anybody here who knows what is logical conditions and an or? Anybody used it in Dynamo before? See, I'm giving simple example. Okay, I'm selecting all these elements by just drag select. Okay, out of these elements, I'm just telling I wanted to select all the walls, and also I wanted to select only elements belonging to level 1. I'm phrasing this sentence with the and keyword. All walls and walls only belonging to level 1. So which means first I will be selecting all walls, then I will be filtering out by removing all the walls which does not belong to level 1. So this is like and keyword. I'm actually saying this with respect to and. If you are writing it inside Python, that is exactly how you write it. Okay, why I'm actually displaying and writing some Python code is just to show you how easy Python it is. Just ignore these stuffs. Okay, I don't want you to see any of this code right now. Okay, these are all simply import statements, nothing but adding libraries to this. Okay, uh, it is very easy to add these libraries. You have a template for this. When I created this Python script in my Dynamo, automatically these things appeared. I will also teach you how to do this later on, but not today. Okay, so if I wanted to write something like so, first I will start with the comparison operator. I hope everybody here have seen how Python script node can be placed. If not, maybe I think I should explain that first. You have to right click and then start typing Python. Okay, then you will be having options called as Python script. You just place it. Okay,
So,
like a
in the
custom.
right side on script also, no?
Sorry.
Library script. In the library,
Mhm.
in the library, you below that Revit,
Yes.
left side library bar. Yeah, left
Yes.
side library bar, no?
Yeah.
So yeah, script. Above script is there, no?
Yes.
Below Revit.
Yeah.
Yeah, here also we can get it, no?
Yeah. Of course you can. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay, basically I'm not a big fan of this library because at least in my PC it is very much slow. So I will always tend to right click on my screen and add values or directly type it. But anyways, it's user preference. You can also do it here. Okay, you can right click, start typing Python, and create a Python node. This node is actually very similar to another node. Can someone tell me which node it is? This appearance is very much similar to another node in Dynamo.
Code block.
List.
Is this, doesn't it look similar?
Zero. Yeah.
Someone quickly tell me what is this list or create node can be used for? Anyone?
By giving 2, 3 code items, making the list,
Okay, if I connect multiple
adding.
inputs, then I will be able to get those items as okay. Exactly. So I have 3 inputs here. So I can connect in the one port. If I wanted to add one more input port, I can just click on the plus button. Then I can add it. Then I can add one more input port by pressing plus button. If I accidentally pressed the plus button again, if I want to remove one input port or the last input port, I can just click on the minus. This is nothing but you can toggle between the number of inputs and output, not output, only inputs. Okay, you can maximize the inputs, and if you run this code right now and if you see the output, I have passed 3 different inputs separately, but the end result I get it as one list which is accommodating all the inputs which I just processed. Okay, have this in mind. Apply the same logic to this Python script. Here there is going to be only one output always, but the number of inputs can be increased by clicking on this plus button and reducing it by clicking on the minus button. In place of actually accepting values, here I'm accepting any input. It can be of any data type. It can be string input, it can be geometry input, it can be a list input. Okay, Python will simply accept the inputs from here, and then it will process based upon what type of code is written inside this. Then it will display the output. As simple as that. Okay, any doubts with this? Anyone? No, all clear?
No, no. Just like while you are adding this inputs to Python, no?
Hmm.
So the same code blocks is increasing in the script inside,
No. uh,
or we
when
have
you,
to add it there.
yes, that's a good question. If you manually add input ports here, nothing will be happening inside this. Okay, I'm just saving the script and I'm again opening it. You can see this script is actually having 47 lines of code. Okay, just remember the line 47. Now I'm just going to reduce the number of inputs, and again opening the script, it is still the same 47. Okay, if you increase the number of inputs or decrease it, what is written inside it will never be changing. Okay, you are responsible for accommodating the inputs which are fetched through this input nodes. Okay, if I simply say, I will just say
Right.
input, I'm creating a variable. Okay, I haven't taught you what is variable. Just give you a small example. I'm creating an alphanumeric value called as I1. I will call this as variable 1, and I'm saying I is equals to input of 0. Where did I get this in of 0? Can everybody see the input port 1 says in and open square bracket, close square bracket, and it says 0. So whatever the user connects in this in of 0 will be stored inside this variable I1. Okay, assume that I'm creating a code block here, and then I'm creating a string value, and I'm connecting to string value to this I0. Okay, then this input of 0 is now stored inside a variable called as I1. Variable is nothing but an alphabet that can store values. Think this of a parameter interval. For a wall element, there is a mark parameter, comments parameter, base offset, type offset. Same way, I am creating one parameter which can store values. Here it is called as variable. Now the value for the variable is assigned. In the out keyword, if I say I1, and if I run this code, I can run it from here, or I can also run it from here. If I run it, you can see it is ABC. When the moment I change ABC to 1, 2, 3, and if I run this code, can someone predict what could be the output? Anyone? You can put it in the
1, 2,
chat.
3.
1, 2, 3. Is that
1, 2,
One,
3.
two, three.
so? Which means you
Yeah.
already started becoming Python masters. Okay, very simple. You are putting values inside this. You are storing it in something, and then you are using that variable in the output keyword. Okay, in the output keyword could be anything. I can say 456 in the output, irrespective of the input. I will get 456 in the output. Okay, I can say 98. Can just say run. Instead of this, I can create a string value saying EFG, and I can run this code. Everything is possible. Instead of that, if I connect it and stored it and use that variable, I will get the value stored inside this variable. So you get values in terms of inputs, store it, and then use it again here. Clear up to this? Anyone having any doubts?
No, clear.
Instead
Clear.
of I1, if we wrote that IN0 is equal to output 0, so that will be the same, right?
Exactly. In place of I1, I can do
Yeah.
whatever I want. Okay. In place of I1, I'm saying
Okay.
input 1. Okay. Then I'm using this input 1, copying it and pasting it here will make no difference. Should I always say I or
Okay.
input? No. I can say ABC, and I can say ABC. Can I use one keyword?
Right.
A works. Can I use capital letters? Works. Okay. This is what there is a convention on how you should name variables. That is again a different topic, not today. How you can name variables, what are all the different things you can do with variables, which will be taught in the course, not today. But again, it is not respect to you should only learn it in the course. If you just go to Google and say Python variables, you will get a lot of resources where you can get to learn a lot from there. Okay, but keep in mind variables is very important. Okay, any other doubts? Anyone? No doubts? Shall I proceed?
IN
Can you
should be
repeat
case
again?
Okay, one at a time, please.
IN
Can you
should be
repeat
case
again?
sensitive or
Okay, okay. The first person who spoke, please go ahead. Okay, someone
I'm
please.
asking IN should be case sensitive or not?
Yeah, IN is case sensitive. You can't say IN with small case IN. It won't work. It has to be case sensitive because here
But
I and N are caps, so you have to exactly replicate the same. So yes, it's case sensitive. Yes, the other person.
Kumar, can you repeat again? Repeat again because
Uh,
I,
can you be specific on repeat what? Like you want me to repeat the variables?
yes, yes, very good.
Okay, here I have multiple
Yeah,
inputs. Okay, so the first input it is saying as in0. Okay, I'm creating a code block and I'm saying 1 2 3 as a string, and then I'm connecting it as in the input put. Then I'm coming back here, assume that this code is not present. Okay, let's just remove all these stuffs. Okay, let's focus on this. Okay, here you are adding empty lines that does not count in Python, so don't worry. Okay, here I'm just going to give a variable name. The variable name could be anything, so I'll just choose a lucky draw winner. Okay, I'm seeing the first name Arun. Okay, I'm creating a variable called as Arun. Okay, then I'm saying input of 0. Now what it means is like the input of 0 is now going to be stored inside Arun. Then
Right side screen we can't.
if you run this code, now Arun value is equal to 1 2 3. Okay, now I'm going to create another variable. So let's choose another lucky draw winner this time from the last. Okay, I'm saying Wasim. Okay, Wasim is equals to input of 1. This is going to be my second input. Okay, the second input I'm going to say it is called as 1500. Okay, 1500 is going to be connected in the second input. Now if I output Wasim, can anybody predict if I run the code what will be the output? Anyone?
Wasim only.
It is going to be Wasim or it is going to be 1500?
Wasim, Wasim 1500.
1500.
I think
1500.
Wasim only.
Okay,
1500.
it's 1500. Actually,
Okay,
Wasim is
yeah.
just a
Oh, yeah.
storage container. What's stored within Wasim is what matters. You can name it as Wasim, you can name it as simply WA, and you can still use that WA. What's stored inside this variable is what will be retrieved when you put it inside the output. Clear now? Everyone?
Yeah, yeah. Clear, clear.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
this is what variables is. Okay, you are declaring something, you are storing the value, and you can use it n number of times in wherever you want. Okay, in school days or in the college days, people used to say let's assume x is equals to 5, and you will be using the x value throughout the problem. Wherever you say x into 10, you are not saying x into 10, you are multiplying 5 into 10 because you assumed x is equals to 5. Same concept here. You are declaring a variable called as Arun, and you are creating assigning a value for this, and later on you are using Arun keyword in multiple ways, but we are not directly using Arun, we are using the value stored inside the variable. Okay, clear? Does it make sense? Everyone?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so again, this is what variables is. As I was saying, you should know arithmetic operations. Like if I wanted to say 5 plus 5, like calculator, I can do calculations. I can say 5 divided by 5, multiplication, division, addition, everything is possible. Then comparison operators. Can I say 5 greater than true? Can someone predict what will be the output if I run this code? 5 greater than 2. If I ask you, okay, assume that you are the computer. If I ask you what is 5 greater than 2, what will you say?
T. Capital T.
One, I think. One, I think.
Yeah,
True,
think
one.
as a common
One
person.
value.
Okay, you are a human being. I'm coming to you and I'm saying 5 is greater than 2. What will you say?
Yes, 5 is greater than 2.
Okay, so if you put it in simple words, you will either say it is true or false. Yes or no?
True.
Okay, same way computer will be handling these condition statements with true or false. These true or false is what we call it as booleans. Okay, you also have a node called as boolean in Dynamo. If you haven't already seen this, if you say boolean, it is nothing but true or false value. So if you are providing a comparison condition to the computer or to Python, it will return you true or false. If I say 5 greater than 20, then it will say false. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, this is what comparison operator mean. Then I can uh, add these comparison operators with multiple conditions. I can say 5 greater than 2 and 5 greater than 10. Okay, this is tricky, but let's see if somebody could come up with right answer. If I run this code, can someone tell me what will be the answer? You think of logical gates, physics or max, logical gates, and operator or operator.
False.
False, false.
False, false. False.
Okay, it's false
Error.
actually. Okay, exactly. So if I say 5 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 1, this time
True, sir.
Exactly. So, which very simply, if both the conditions are true, your end result will be true. If either one of the condition, either the first condition or the second condition, even one of the condition is false, the result will be false in AND statement. Okay, we'll replace this AND statement with something else. It is called as OR statement. Okay, now I am saying 5 is greater than 2 or 5 is greater than 10. Now can someone tell me what will be the result?
True, sir.
Okay, most of you said true. Here OR statement is exactly opposite to AND statement. Even at least one of the conditions is true, then the result will be true. If both conditions are true, obviously result is true. Just a clarification, I started in the message on the webinar. It will be for advanced dynamic users, but I'm seeing you're going from beginner level. Please clarify. Exactly, yes. Most of the people here, or at least some of them here, are also beginners. So I would really wanted to start with beginners, but in the course we will be, of course, starting from beginners and going to advanced topics as well. Okay, but today I'm not going to directly jump into and teach you class deductions, which is also a part of the course, but as a demo purpose, I'm just uh, guiding you what is Python and how easy Python is from a beginner's perspective. Okay, I hope that is clear. Yes, this is what OR statement and AND statement is. Okay, clear up to this? Any doubts? Anyone?
How
Clear,
can
clear.
we compare this input 0 and input 1 with respect to true or false? How can we specify for those inputs?
Sorry, come again. I didn't understand your question.
Because now we have input 0 and input 1. We have two inputs. We have.
Yes.
So this is true or false equation. We need to apply for that.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's just say.
So how can we
Okay.
apply for that?
Okay. In place of first input, I will say 10. In place of the second input, I will say 15. Okay. So I'm just calling it as simply, I will say N1 is going to be my first input. N2 is going to be my second input. In place of directly using 5 or 10, I can say N1 greater than N2. This is also possible. Is 10 greater than 15? True or false? True or false?
False.
False.
Yes, it's going to be false. Okay. The thing is, you don't have to directly say numbers. You can get the inputs and store it inside variables, and you can also use variables for comparisons. That's also possible. Is it clear? Now, I hope this is what you asked for.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And how much time it will take to move to
Hello,
advanced
Kumar.
topics? Yes, just a moment. I'll just answer this question from the chat. I'm not going to teach you advanced topics today. This will be mostly regarding basics and what you can do with Python. Advanced topics will be taught during the course. Okay, this is just a demo class, just to give you a glance of what we will be doing and how the teaching will be inside the course. Okay, so sorry to disappoint you, but no advanced topics directly today. Yes, somebody was about to ask something.
Yeah, hello, Kumar. Can you change that input one previously wherever it is, means it's like a string, right? So can we compare the string and the number, or we can apply any arithmetic operation to that
What do you
in the
think?
output
Practically,
node
do you think
if
it
it
is
is
possible?
uh, practically? But I think that the comparison will not be possible, but the operation may be possible, because in Python we can add the string and the number.
Okay.
Whether it is possible here also?
It is not possible here. If you are coming with two different data types, then it is not possible.
Okay.
Numbers, it is making sense to compare two numbers, and you can also compare between two strings. But if you take a string and a number, and if you try to compare that, even humanly it is not possible. On which basis you will be comparing an alphabet with a number? It's not possible, right? Same thing happens here. If you just say
Okay,
ABC is
means it will
greater
give
than
the
10.
false, right?
Okay, actually it is working here, but it should not work. If you do it outside Dynamo, most of the time it won't work. It will give you errors. Okay, how come I say ABC is greater than 10? On what basis it is giving me true? No
But
logical explanation.
But sometimes we give like a parameter in which the some like a project code like ML and this and then there is some numeric value. So can we add these two? Like the project code is the unify and we can add
Yeah, of course you can do.
the
You can
numbers.
also do type
We can.
conversions. If it is a string, you can convert it
Okay.
to an integer. If it is an integer, you can convert it to string. Those things are possible.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Yes, good. Okay, this is what we can do with basic Python. Then after that, you have to know what is condition statements, which I'm not going to cover today. And we also need to know what is looping statements, because if you know what is loops and what is conditions, that is where you can feel the essence of full Python. Okay, you started with variables, then you followed by operations. You have to know if conditions, then you want to know looping statements. And now I'm assume that I'm completed up to this. Now I am an expert in Python. Will I be start able to create my own custom packages? Can I start writing the code which I just showed from the custom package right when I started this class? Not yet. You learned the programming language, but you doesn't know what to write from the programming language. Okay, what to write from the programming language is what we call it as Rivet API. Can someone here tell me what is your understanding of Rivet APIs? If you hear the word Rivet API, what is Rivet API? Anyone?
It's a
It's
dynamic library.
it's one kind of library which include class members and methods and properties.
Exactly.
That will show that
Built-in function.
this.
Okay. Yes.
Set of instructions.
Exactly. Set of instructions, building functions, classes, libraries, namespaces. Okay, all these are true. To put it in very simple words, it is just a set of commands. In AutoCAD, you have a lot of commands. If you are already know AutoCAD to some extent, you know what is commands are. Okay, you type line, then you will be start able to creating lines. You type layer, then you type polyline. So you type commands, then something with respect to that will be able to create it in an AutoCAD. Okay, same way in Rivet API is nothing but a set of commands. It is arranged in terms of namespaces, classes, properties, methods, members. Okay, again, to know what are all these things will take some time, but yes, this is what Rivet API is. Rivet API is nothing but it is simply a library or a set of commands. So how to access these commands? You are accessing these commands with Python. Then you are going to use Python to access Rivet API to perform a programming language. Okay, if I wanted to create a pipe in Rivet, if you are using simple Dynamo, you might have notes for this. Okay, assume that you are going to create a pipe inside Python. So what should be my process? Where should I start? Okay, inside this set of commands, there will be a command for pipe. If I search for pipe, there will be a command for pipe. If I go to this commands, there are create commands for pipe. If I click on this create command, it is asking me for to give me the document in which I wanted to create the pipe. What is the type ID of the pipe? What is which level should the pipe be corresponding to? What is going to be my start connector of the pipe? What will be my end connector of the pipe? So if I know all these things, if I provide these things as inputs, I will be able to create a pipe. Okay, creating a pipe command comes from Rivet API. The way you write the command will be in Python. Python is a programming language. You will be using Rivet API commands and code it inside Python to form a proper programming platform. Clear or any doubts? Anyone?
Can you repeat again?
Okay.
Yeah, the last context.
Okay. I'll just put it in a very simple words. Okay. Actually, this is something that I used to show for my students from the class. This is a very classic example for API. Okay, just pay attention to this. 2 minutes, you will understand what is Rivet API. Okay, assume that you are taking someone to a restaurant, be it your girlfriend or your friend. You are going for a restaurant for dinner. Okay, you will not directly jump into the kitchen and then take items and then cook items for you on your own. You go to a restaurant, you find a table. Then what you do, you will call the waiter. okay, or the waitress. Then ask them for the menu, what is present or what is special, whatever it is. You call them and ask for what is available inside this hotel. You will not directly go into the kitchen and then see what is available. You ask the waiter, then the waiter will give you what is present. Okay, today I have some burgers, I have some pizzas, I have biryani, a lot of stuffs, whatever the hotel can offer you will be presented by the waiter. Then again, you will not directly go and cook those items after seeing the menu card. You will pass the information to the waiter. Hey waiter, I want 2 ice creams. Okay, I want a vanilla ice cream and I want a mango ice cream. Again, then the waiter will not directly go into the kitchen and he will not cook for you. He will pass the information to the chef inside the restaurant, and the chef will be seeing what are all the ingredients that is needed for preparing the menu. Then he will put all those ingredients and then prepare the items. Again, chef will not come back and serve it back to you, whereas the waiter will come and serve it back to you. In simple words, this waiter is what we call it as API. Okay, here I can classify him as restaurant API. Kitchen is a restricted area, and kitchen is where everything is cooked and whatever you are asking for is going to come from kitchen. But you don't have access to the kitchen, but you have the help of the waiter. You call the waiter, hey API, come here, I want to create a pipe. Go and tell Rivet, I want to create a pipe, and then Rivet will create me a pipe, and then the API will come with the results. Okay, just assume the same with respect to Rivet. You are directly going to ask for a request to Rivet, but assume that Rivet is not your friend. Rivet is your long-term enemy. He will not speak to you. He will not respond to you. But you know Rivet API. Rivet API is your close friend, and Rivet API and Rivet are very close friends. So you take the help of Rivet API, pass a request to Rivet API. So Rivet API commands will ask Rivet to create a pipe. Then Rivet will create a pipe and return a response. That response will be again served with respect to Rivet API. Is it clear now? A very quick
So the
explanation.
Yes.
Python is just hello.
Yes,
Python is just like a way of speaking with Revit API.
exactly. I'm speaking to you in English, right? We are from different parts of India, okay? But we are still communicating with English. Same way, we are communicating with Python, but we are using Rivet API to communicate. Clear now,
Yeah.
everyone?
Yes,
Yeah,
clear.
So from the next
yeah,
time
but
when you
Kumar,
hear,
yeah, can you go to that page, Kumar,
yes,
the
I can.
API
Yes.
one? So if the Python is the language to communicate with the Revit,
Hmm.
so it should be also specify the format here, like C sharp is specified, C plus plus is specified.
That's exactly
So
making sense to ask
is
for.
there
Even as a beginner, I even asked for that, but Autodesk is very cunning to give that. There is no Python examples, or there are very limited Python examples in the internet. They are not giving you straightforward formats for Python. Either you should know C sharp and you should be able to know how to write it in Python, or you should take somebody's help, or you should uh, bang your head and then learn Python and try to do everything in Python. Unfortunately, that's the situation right now. Autodesk does not have proper resources for Python, whereas every resources in internet will be either in C sharp or VB, Visual Basic.
it
So
means we are going to study in this course, right?
yes, of
That's
course.
how we communicate with them. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The format is
Hello,
very simple. Yes.
hello. Like the in this page, the methods are there.
Yeah.
So do we need to create them or we need to call them?
You will not be creating
Can we
any
directly
methods or properties. You will be only calling them.
directly?
Yes.
So, but we have to provide document, type ID, and all the other thing as the input.
Yes. We will be. If there is a command how to get document. There is a command how to get type ID. So those commands you will be using to get values, and you will be using that values to pass it.
Okay, so directly we can call this method.
Exactly. If I wanted to get the active document,
Okay.
uh, let's just say document. If I want to get the document inside Dynamo, there should be a method, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. So we
Yeah.
even we don't have to create a class also.
No. There are chances if you
Okay,
wanted to
I got
create
it.
UIs, and there are instances where you might have to create your own class, but 90% of the time you don't. You will be only using existing
Okay,
classes. Okay, here getting the
okay.
document, I'm using a node. In Python, to get a document, I will be using a command or one line of code.
No, but like you're saying, we can call directly method. So do we have to create object for them?
Yes, you need to.
Because I think okay. Thank you.
Yes. Are we going to learn Python and C Sharp? Yes, not fully C Sharp. I'll just show you quickly what are all things it's covered inside this course. Okay, where is that slide? Good, here it is. Okay, I will be starting with basics of Python. For the first one full week, we'll be learning from the very basics of Python. Anybody who doesn't even know what is Python, we'll start from there. We'll start with variables one full day. We'll start with conditions, loopings, classes, how to create classes, how to create properties and methods. We'll be taught from the basics. And then oops concept is nothing but what is class, what is property, what is method. Here when you see these terms, it is actually making no sense. It is saying method, it is saying member, it is saying class, it is saying namespace. So if you understand the oops concept, then you will know what is class, what is namespace, what is methods and all. Okay, so that is what we will be learning. Then we will be knowing what is Rivet API, what Rivet API can do, how to call Rivet APIs, what are all the tools that is available for which I can use for Rivet API. Then we'll be seeing a lot of Rivet API examples. Then complex Rivet API examples like class reductions, document operations, export operations, creating UIs. Then I will be also teaching you C Sharp and how to create zero touch node. Anyone here know what is zero touch node? Any idea?
Means doesn't look like a book shape mostly.
Okay. This is a node
It
which
is
I'm
not
taking
like
from
a
the package. Okay, bimorph is a package node. I just created a node from the package node, but this looks very different as compared to the other one from the MEP over. Both are custom packages. Here this is editable custom node, this is non-editable custom node. But what is happening in the backend is this custom node is created with Python, so you will be able to see what is present inside that. This custom node is created in C Sharp, so you won't be seeing how bimorph has created this node. Okay, there is no option called as right click and edit, or you can't double tap and open it. Okay, and creating nodes using C Sharp has an advantage of higher efficiency. The runtime of a node that is written in Python as compared to C Sharp is higher. So C Sharp will give you more efficiency. See, first you can, if
No,
you
but
wanted to
there
run,
is
yes,
for creating a node in Python, we have Python node, like we
yes.
can call it. But how can we create this? Like, do we have any option inside the Dynamo?
No, it is not going to be inside Dynamo. You have to write C Sharp code outside Dynamo. We have an environment called as Visual Studio, the place where we will be hard coding C Sharp. Then we will be compiling that. Then we will be loading that libraries inside Dynamo. So zero touch nodes or C Sharp nodes.
So this is a dot. So 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 is this a .dif file?
Yes, it is not a DYF file. It is a .dll file. See, okay, just a moment. Package. Okay, where will I? Okay, manage nodes and package paths. Okay, if I go to the path and if I go to this package, let's just say I'm having MEP over. Okay, inside this MEP over, there are going to be, okay, where is that? It's going to be in the Bumblebee at least. Okay, just a moment. Give me a sec. I'm opening it on the other screen. Okay, here if you go here, you can see .dll files. These DLL files are responsible for creating nodes. Okay, every package nodes will have DLL files. This is the Bumblebee package, and if you go to MEP over package, they will be also having DLL nodes. Okay, shit, that doesn't have it, but let's go to something else. Data shapes. So it is having DLL. So it is not DYF, it is DLL files. So how they creating these DLL files?
Okay,
You have to write
means
program outside.
okay, like means if we are creating with the Python, then it will be DIF, and with creating with the C Sharp, then it will be DLL, right?
Yeah, you can say it that way. Yes.
Okay. So is this DLL file the same at the time, like if we are building a solution? then the
Yes.
DLL file will create. So is
Yes.
this the same DLL file?
Yeah, it is the same DLL file.
Okay.
So
Okay,
by the end
thank
of
you.
this session, so
Kumar,
somebody asked me if we teach C sharp. Yes, we do also teach C sharp to create zero touch node. Yes,
to what level? To what level?
basics.
Yani
You can't create,
basics
you
only.
can't, we will not be teaching you how to create add-ins, but how I am teaching this Python, same way I will be teaching you C sharp. If you learn Python, it is from there, it is easy for you to learn C sharp. Reverse is actually difficult. C sharp is a difficult programming language, but Python is the easiest programming language. If you feel I'm lying, if you say easiest programming language 2022, you will see HTML, that is a web program, CSS web program, then the third thing is Python. Python is the most easiest programming language available on the internet to learn. Anybody could learn. Any beginner could learn. Okay. So if you learn Python first,
We
you will
cannot
understand the
create
concepts. Then you can learn C sharp.
we cannot create add-ins with Python.
No,
Okay.
it is possible, but not a direct way. There is something called as PyRivet, Rivet Python shell. You can use Python to
So
create buttons
actually,
in Rivet, but those things are not
it's
considered.
dealing with
Yeah. Yeah.
that Revit in this Python is dealing with only Revit API, not Revit API UI. That's why.
Um, Dynamo does not allow you to create buttons. That's a disadvantage. Okay,
That
Dynamo is
is
itself
UI,
an add-in.
UI,
Yes,
UI.
yes. UI, if you ask me UI is nothing but dialog boxes, right? See, this is itself an UI. This Google Chrome is an UI, which is having tabs, text. You can also create UIs. There is actually a package called as data shapes, which is specifically for creating UIs. Okay, so it does not mean that you cannot create UIs. If you use this data shapes package, you will be able to create forms. So creating UIs is fine. You
Yes.
cannot put buttons inside Revit. You cannot create your own BIM era tab. You can't create buttons like this. Okay, that is not allowed from Dynamo. You have to do it using C sharp. That's the difference. Clear?
So what will be benefits of learning Python? What will be its applications?
Okay. Python is not, first of all, going to be restricted within Dynamo environment or Revit environment. If you learn Python, you can do your day-to-day task, a lot of day-to-day tasks. Okay. You can just automatically copy files from one location to other. You can automatically send emails. You can automatically download files from a certain websites. So a lot of automations is possible. Python is a general purpose programming language. Okay, and easiest thing, so you can quickly learn, and then you can also use your knowledge acquired in Python inside Revit as well as outside. Has anybody here heard about machine learning and artificial intelligence? It's a very hot topic.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
machine learning and artificial intelligence is totally based on Python. Okay, in the future, if you feel that I also wanted to learn those things, since you have already learned Python, it is easy for you to just go there and then explore yourself, because Python is the base language for machine learning.
Okay.
Let's
So,
just say.
okay. But can you give some examples for Revit how it will be useful? Right now, I think most of us will be here who will be mostly focusing on Revit.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So,
Mostly I will be teaching
yeah.
mainly on Revit APIs. Okay, so I'll just ask Rajesh to share this course curriculum with everybody. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. I'll just explain what you will be learning with respect to Revit. Then I think this might be clearing your doubts. First, we will be starting with basics. The first whole week will be basics of Python. Here we will be dealing with in depth what is variable, what are all the different data types, what are all the operations you can perform. Then we will deal with different logical, arithmetic, comparison operators, condition statements, working with list, what is looping statements, functions. So up to this Python module will be over. Okay, first 1 week you will be teaching basics and intermediate stuff. This oops, class methods, these are all coming under intermediate topics. So first 1 week you will be dealing with all the basic Python stuffs. Then we will be jumping into Dynamo. I have shown you this libraries, right? whatever libraries you need to import, what is the meaning of each and every line, why should I import this library, where is this library coming from, what will happen if I don't import these libraries. All these things we will start discussing from here. Then we will dive deep into how to use different tools. There is called something called as Rivet lookup. What are all the online repositories or online websites which I can refer for Rivet API? We'll start with collections. How to collect elements. Say for example, I wanted to collect all the ducks which are having parameter mark parameter equal to 1 2 3. If I want to perform this collection, how to perform those collections. I want to perform class deductions. Those things can be performed. How to get parameters, set parameters, get type parameters and set type parameters, creating different elements, uh, modifying elements, copying, cut, paste, mirror, delete, align, those things. How can I perform with respect to Python? How to create views, how to isolate elements, hide elements, provide color to the elements, provide different patterns. And then we'll start with mainly class deductions. How to perform class deductions in depth. How to perform class deduction between different documents, because mostly class deductions happen between link files. uh, Ducts will be one link, and then architecture walls will be another link. So how to perform clashes between two linked files, how to do those things, because class deductions, we don't have default nodes from Dynamo, we mainly depend on packages. Okay, so if you know these methods, then you can directly perform class deductions without the help of packages. Then you have something called as array projection. That's again a different application for class deductions, as well as finding ceilings, placing fixtures, and how to get points from CAD and automatically convert those points from CAD. If I want to convert a CAD line to wall automatically, how to do those things. And document operations. I should not open a document at all. If I just give the path of a document file, the document file should automatically open, and then it should automatically perform some operations like update parameters or create elements or export. Let's just say if I provide a link of a file, it should automatically open, do all the NWC exports and DWG exports, and close the file. If this happens in overnight, how will that be? Just providing, not even opening Revit, how to do that. So those things we will be dealing with. How to create your own user interfaces, small scale dialog boxes, how you can create. Then we will jump into C sharp. How from the basics of C sharp, uh, to write C sharp you need a different environment. We call them as Visual Studio. I will tell you how to download those things, and I'll teach you how to create C sharp create notes, and how to create zero touch notes. And then the last 3 to 4 classes we will have a real time projects. Okay, this projects will not be something I am suggesting. This projects will be taken from the students or the people who are attending. In the real time cases, if you are facing as an issue, you can come up with those solutions. Then we will take that solution, and then everybody we will be using that problem to find a solution for this from the start to the end. Okay, it will be like in the future, if you are left alone, how will you start a project and how will you end the project, how will you deliver it to the client. All these things we will be dealing by the end of this course. Yes, that's the entire course curriculum. It will be around 30 days, and every day class we will have around 1 to 1.5 hours. Sometimes if you have more doubts, it can even go beyond that. People who have attended Dynamo sessions know how the pattern is. And yes, that's how it is. Any questions on this?
Uh, just
Yeah.
just one thing. So like whichever what is given in the Revit API docs. So that thing only we can do with this Python.
Mainly yes.
And for by C sharp we can do like what is not given in API, that also we can do with C sharp.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I got a question. Where are the Dynamo limitations for which we need to switch to Python and API, mainly with respect to packages and default nodes? As I said, class reduction does not have its own default nodes. And if you put a lot of Dynamo nodes one after the other, you will automatically feel there is a lag in Dynamo. If you have performed class reductions in Dynamo, mostly you will get solids and you will do solid intersections. And for people who have performed it, knows very well that how long that a geometry versus geometry operation takes place in Dynamo. that is drastically reduced in Python Rivet API methods. I did class reductions not more than 5 minutes. It took nearly 30-35 minutes for a class reduction script in basic Dynamo nodes to exactly perform the same in Python. Believe me, I'm not joking. I have experienced it in the past. Solid versus solid operations is very time consuming in Dynamo, which is very easy in Python. How many weeks in this course for? It's around 6 weeks, 30 days. We will not be having classes on Sunday, so 6 days a week and around 5 weeks then. Yes. Can you share the course current document? Exactly, yes, we can do that. You will get it from Rajesh. Which is user friendly, Dynamo or Python? Both. For beginners, Dynamo. For advanced users, Python. Can it be 5 days a week? We have to discuss based upon every student's availability, but mostly it will be 6 days. And you will be provided recorded sessions right after every class. So even though you happen to miss any classes, you can directly refer to the recordings and get back to us. And every class will be having a pattern, like you will have a doubt clarification sessions in the beginning, and then we'll go through the contents. We will again take doubts if you have anything throughout the course. And as you did today, you can always stop me in between and ask any doubts if you have and get it clarified. Yes. Any other queries? Okay. Are you going to share more details for this, like fees, times, and exactly both? All these things will be shared to you by Rajesh. You can reach out to him. All additional details will be coming to you by Rajesh. Whatever I have to say and whatever I have to teach you, I'm done with today's session. So I'm just taking doubts for you guys from now on.
In Python, like we even can create all the critical geometries what we can do with Dynamo, right?
When
In
it
some
comes to
easiest way.
when it comes to geometries, Dynamo is the best, not Python. Okay, Dynamo is
Okay.
mainly made for geometries where you have visual space and creating geometries. Those things you better use Dynamo for creating geometries. But when it comes to Rivet related operations, Python is the best, not Dynamo. Can you show something you developed using Python? Can you use Dynamo for Bentley, like open roads? For Bentley, there is no applications for Dynamo yet. You can use Dynamo for AutoCAD and Civil 3D right now, but for Bentley, no. Can you show me some Python script you created? I can just check. Let's just see. Okay, this is something that I created for one of our batches where for an Excel or related operation, we just created it. This is one of the final projects for the previous batch. Okay, this is the Python script we created for them. Okay, it is nothing but it will take values from Excel. We will do some Excel manipulation and we will again write the data back to Excel. Okay, so right from the beginning, this is actually created by the students. We just jointly created everything. We created definitions, we created stuffs like this. Yes. This is an example. What is a starting package will you get for freshers and experience in only Rivet? You mean how to learn Rivet you are asking? Or you are asking for only Rivet and what do you think about Dynamo? I can't get your question correctly. Can we have a WhatsApp group for doubt clarification? We always have, but again, company decides. Why Python for class reduction? Already we have Navis and Rivet interference check. Of course, yes, but you cannot customize those things as how much ever you want it. Okay, of course, Navisworks performs best. It is easy for doing visualizations. But what if I wanted to perform a class reduction, then I wanted to place openings at the point where the classes are, or what I wanted to do to perform class rectifications at the time, what will you do? For visualizing, generating reports, Navisworks is fine. In one of the projects, what I did is like I found where is the duct clashing with walls, and I found the intersection point, and I found how much clashing area is there. Then I automatically placed opening. So there I actually need the application of finding clashes in Python. And for example, I wanted to get the clashes and
Yeah.
I wanted to do some different colors. It's possible. You have n number of applications. To simple words,
Hello,
customize
Rajesh.
options. Yes, not Rajesh, it's Kumar. But still,
Sorry, Kumar. Sorry.
yes.
Sorry. Actually, can you the points which you are highlighting that we need to work for the Python learning? Means once you said the data type, the second the operations, and whatever the next two,
I'll just put it in the chat.
which we should
It's
learn.
variables. It is data
Yeah,
types. It is
data type.
arithmetic comparison and logical operations. Then we need condition statements. Then we need looping statements. Then how to create functions, class, methods, and properties. Yeah, these are the main topics which you need to cover for Python.
Okay.
Can we
Thank you.
generate auto? Yeah, no problem. Can we generate auto rebar details for structural members using Python? Yes, of course, yes. I have also created rebars, but I haven't created rebar details yet. But yes, that could be also a possibility. Yes. Any other doubts? What is the starting package we'll get if we learn this course again? This has to be decided by Rajesh. You will be getting those details from him. This is just a demo. We are not discussing about the package fees and timing, when the batch will start and when the batch will end. This is all tentative. This is just a demo, and based upon what type of feedback we get out of this, we will proceed with respect to the further discussions. So please reach out to Rajesh, or I'll ask Rajesh to reach out to you. No worries. You will get it as a personalized message. Yes. Anything else?
One thing like, can we like may changes? Can we change a color of schema with the help of this with the help of Python?
Yes, you can.
Color schema. Color
Yes.
schema.
I'm not an
Like if
electrical
room
guy. I
room has
think
color schema.
actually I haven't created schema, so I don't know if it is possible manually in Revit. Then it should definitely be possible in Python. So just
If it is given in API
Hi,
docs,
Kumar.
then it is
Hi,
possible.
Kumar.
yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah. I made one schematic. Actually, I want to tell you the guys who are attending the meeting. I had learned the course in November batch with Kumar only. He is very good teaching. I will recommend all of them. It will be very useful. And I made what you are asking. The schematic done in the Revit from the Excel the panel schedule. It will create automatically. It will do the schedule within 2 minutes. You can say
It's not. Yeah,
95% of time.
I'm not talking about schematic. I'm talking about that is like if you are giving rooms, you are giving a schema to it, means colorings.
Color schema. Okay. That is,
The
it
color
is already
schema. So
available in the
that,
Revit itself, right?
but yeah, but you can't directly automate like which color we have to give to
See,
which schema
if you can
in that
actually
schema.
create
Yeah, it's
colors
possible.
to Revit, then obviously it should be possible to code and do automatic stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. And thanks, Arif, for the recommendation.
Whatever you
I
are
never
doing
thought you were
manually in
here.
the Revit, no? Everything you can do in by automatic also.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Hello, hello, sir.
Yes.
Uh, Sir, just a question. Like, I'm an electrical guy. We
Okay.
used to have a load list.
Okay.
Can
Yes.
we create a single line diagram based on the load list, like
That's what I'm
referring?
telling you. I made already.
Okay.
Maybe you can just
With the help
contact
of Kumar.
Arif. Okay. So
With
if
the
you
help of Kumar, I made it.
okay. So actually,
Okay.
it's happy to see one of my students is actually vouching. So you can actually
Yeah,
contact Arif,
really
and
very good.
then you can get it from there. But yes, it's
Really, I
possible.
like Kumar's teaching. From
Okay.
him only, I learned everything.
Okay, actually, people might
Okay.
think this is a paid promotion. Actually, I'm a bit surprised. It is not so. It is
No,
totally generic. So please don't think it is like I'm asking people to. Definitely not.
Okay.
Okay, but anyways, thanks, Arif. It is actually nice to catch up with you after November, I think.
yeah, no more bad.
Yes, great. I hope you are doing good. Should we learn Dynamo properly and then start with Python and then Revit API? I would suggest yes. Okay, if you are very beginner in Dynamo, I would at least suggest you to have some good understanding of Dynamo, how Dynamo works. Then it will be very much helpful when you start with respect to Python. Okay, when the session will start, any specific date, as I said, it is not a fixed date yet. We might have to discuss it with Rajesh after this. It depends upon the students and how many students we are taking for batch. Yes.
Uh, This actually Arif Basha already attended the session, so why he's attending once
Actually,
more?
I am a
So
bit
No, no,
surprised to
just
know
I'm
that.
curious. Yeah.
no. That's
I,
why. In your WhatsApp, you told some advanced course you are going to
Ah,
teach.
okay, okay,
That's why I joined here.
okay.
That's why I joined here. What is something advanced?
Actually, I'm really sorry for that. I'm not sure what was communicated to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. That's why advanced coding something we written in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, maybe
That's why I joined
it
here.
was written based for beginners, for beginning Dynamo users.
Mm,
They might have
okay, okay.
wrote it in
I
that
thought something special code in Python are you going to teach it this way?
way. Not
That's
special,
why I joined.
not
Python
something.
beginners.
Yeah, Python
Oh.
for beginners. This itself an advanced. So we wrote it in that way.
Okay, like
Okay, so I'm not going to teach you anything new. I already taught you everything.
actually Python is very powerful. I am telling you.
Yep.
Once you study this, no, you can automate everything. You can save more than 70% of time
That's true.
once you
Okay.
familiar in Python.
Like, can we do some like automate or QC works or
If you
anything
want,
like
can I
that?
show you? Can I show you? If
Checks.
you allow me, I can show you how it is working.
Actually, this is not the forum for this right now.
Not that's why.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for
I
that,
understand.
but yes,
So,
Yeah.
you
No,
can
I
just
want
have a
so we
to
can
personal
do
chat.
tell
some
them
checks
how
like
much it is powerful. That Python programming.
Maybe
Okay.
Arif, you can just share your contact details in the chat, and people who are really interested in that, please directly go and
Yes.
reach out to Arif. Uh,
Okay.
he's very interested to share.
Arif, can you share your contact?
Yeah, I will give them my email ID.
Yeah, please put it in
You
the
Okay.
can
chat, and
contact
everybody
me.
can.
I
Yeah.
will show
Can you
the
check?
yeah.
This is still very
Yeah, can you put
advanced
it
for
in the
us.
chat?
Actually, this is not very advanced to speak. If you know basic Dynamo, that is the qualification to come into Python. Don't worry if at this point of time if you
Kumar,
don't.
can I share my email ID?
Yes,
If
please
you
do share
know
it in
any
the
other.
chat. No problem. I don't have any problem. Just put it in the chat.
Okay,
And
okay.
whoever
Yeah.
want to contact them, just copy it from the chat. Okay. And yes, for people who have some basic Dynamo knowledge, that is more than enough. I will be teaching you. I'll take care of you how to make you understand in Python. Those things we will take care of that. Don't worry about that. There is a lot of people who joined with same hesitations in this batch and left out with flying colors. Don't worry about that. Everybody should start
no.
at
So
some point of time.
my only hesitation is like I wanted to utilize this because I've learned Dynamo, but still I'm not able to utilize it that much
No,
amount.
Uh,
So at
that is
least I
actually
want to
that is
understand.
mainly personal practice. How much you do, how much time you spend on after learning. You can listen to my
Yeah,
lectures for five
you know.
hours
So
straight,
that's
but
so
if you don't
that's why I'm
practice,
trying to understand where can we these things be applicable and where can we use this. Like when we know that okay, these are the areas we can have those applications, and I think
yeah, those things definitely will
that
be
will be
covered in
more
the
helpful.
classes. If I tell you how to perform parameter operations, I will definitely teach you with a case study, right? You have this stuff, you wanted to copy it from here to there, then how will you do it? That's a real time
Right.
case. If I
Kumar,
want to perform a class detection,
Kumar.
yes.
Yeah. What we are expecting is like, can you elaborate little bit like how we can use it in Revit? You are explaining, but can you elaborate like the examples? Okay, you can in documentation you can do this thing, sheet you can do this thing like that.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
Right. Yeah, means just an overview. We are not expecting any
yeah,
detailed explanation, but yeah, like we can say this 10 walls can be aligned to
yeah,
each
like
other, or this
applications. What are the
three
applications we
buildings
have
can,
in
yeah.
this?
Okay.
Now these three buildings are like placed randomly, and we can align those together. Means something like that.
Okay. I'll just give you two or
Means
three
like
examples. Okay,
yeah,
basically, with
yes,
respect
yes.
to both structures as well as MMP, I'll try to cover both because there is a question: is it useful for MMP users? Definitely, it is going to be useful. We'll start with very basic thing called as parameters. Okay, if you have multiple elements in Revit and you wanted to update parameters, let's just say I'm having 100 files in my model and I just wanted to number all the 100 files starting from here, ending here, and I have to go in this direction. Okay, if I just draw a detail line or not even detail line, assume that those piles are parallel to x and y axis, I can collect all the piles from this model and then I can sort it based upon their x coordinate and y coordinate. Then I can automatically assign some mark values or parameter values to this from the numbers, and the number can be also given by the user. Start with 500, start with 1500, put a 500. If all the parameters are already 500, then I want all the elements to have a 500, b 500, c 500. Those things, if you do it manually, then you have to click every element. For the first element it is a 500, second element is b 500. But if you know programming, then you can just in one click you can collect all the elements, then you can get all the parameters and put a b c automatically with the help of Python. Okay, those things which are tedious to do manually is what makes sense to automate in Python. Okay, if I want to create one wall, if I want to create one sheet, if I want to add one parameter, it will be always making sense to do it manually. Okay, if you are coming with something complex or something tedious, if you do it manually, it will take 1 day of time, and I'm going to do it for 100 projects. Okay, then it is making sense for you to do this pile numbering script. This is one thing. Any doubts with this? No. Okay, then when it comes to MEP, you can of course do class deduction. I'm not sure about schematics, but it is also possible to do it, as Arif already suggested. He already did. So which means that those schematics, colorizing schematics, whatever you just mentioned, is all possible to do it in Python. Okay, no worries. I even also stated one example in one of my sessions, where if you have if you have cat file, or if you have points in Revit, those points will be generated from the cat files. Then you have a ceiling. Out of those points, you can automatically identify at which point the ceiling is located, and you can automatically place lighting fixtures at this points. Okay, by just knowing the points in the floor plan and without knowing which height the ceiling is located, you can automatically start placing fixtures. Here it is lighting fixtures, smoke detectors, whatever it is. That is one example. And in general, if you wanted to say, if you wanted to do like I wanted to do model exports, I have 100 views and I have 50 models. I have a MEP model, I have a HWP model, a electrical model, and all those models has to be open automatically, and I wanted to perform Navisworks export or IFC export, and I wanted to close it, and this has to be done on weekly basis or monthly basis. Those things can be automated. This is general. So yeah, there is a lot of applications.
Okay.
Okay, in general, whatever things that you are
Okay.
doing on manually on daily basis or weekly basis, everything can be automated. Okay, can we apply Python and API we learn in Civil 3D, or there is specific to Revit? Revit API is specific and Civil 3D API is different. Okay, both are different APIs. The programming language is still same, Python, but the commands will be varying. Okay, anything else?
Kumar, can we place duct supports with the help of Python
Yes, of course you
automatically?
can. Yeah, actually we did a script for that. We automatically identified the duct lines, and then we identified where the ceilings are located. Then we have placed some hangers that supports for that.
Okay.
Okay, any other doubts? Actually, if there
No,
are
Kumar.
okay, if there are no other doubts, I hope that I didn't waste your time. I hope you found it useful, irrespective of whether you're joining
Yes,
the course
we
or
are.
not. I hope I have enlightened you with some extent. After coming to this session, you
Yes.
should have learned at least 5 to 10% extra from what you know already.
Yes, true.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if that is true, then I'm
Just one more question.
yes, please.
Actually, hello,
Yes, I can hear you.
module. Yeah. So yeah, if we have two BHK building,
Okay.
and we have all the MEP ducting installed there,
Okay.
and we have to convert it to 3 BHK building.
Okay.
So we convert the architecture part. So all the MEP part that can be converted automatically, like dirt size, etc. So that can be possible
It depends on what you want, how you wanted to convert the MEP components. Like since it is
with
converted
the
to
help of standard. If we already have all the standards that are done by
yeah, then it
standards.
is possible. If you clearly
So
have
yeah,
the rule sets, Okay, since it is a 2 BHK, now the AC size has to be increased to this much, or number of ducts has to be increased. So if you have a clear rule sets, then it is possible.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, any other doubts?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can we do model? Can we check by Python?
Sorry, your voice is breaking. Can you what?
Means like what else? Model Python.
Model in place you're asking?
Health by Python.
Actually, your voice is breaking.
Can
I assume that you're asking, can we do
we
modeling in Python? If that is so, then yes, it is possible. I don't know if it is only breaking for me. Others, can you hear what Arun just said?
model health check?
Okay, yes, model health check is
Means
possible.
what version it is and what
Yeah, of course, yes. It's possible. Definitely hits. All the QC related stuffs is what mainly Dynamo is for. Okay, anything else?
Kumar, one question, please. What is the difference between the Revit API course and the Dynamo design scripting course?
Dynamo design
What will be
scripting.
the differences?
Okay, Okay. To answer in nutshell, there is something called as Dynamo API and there is something called as Revit API. Okay. If you are using code blocks, you will be using Dynamo API, and the syntax or the format in which you write is totally different. Okay, in Python you will be using Revit API and you will be using Python. So design script is different, Python is different. If you take I know design scripting, does it mean that can I easily understand Python? Understanding Python is easy, but knowing design script does not mean you already know Python. Okay, these two are different. Hope it answers.
Thank you.
Yeah, nothing else. And I'm always open for feedback. How do you feel about this session? Anything you would like to improvise? I'm really all ears. Any feedbacks, good or bad? Anything is fine.
It was very good, Kumar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Feel free
yeah,
to say
it
you
was
are a
good.
very bad trainer. You wasted my time. That's also fine. Okay, it was good. Good. Okay, good to hear those. Okay, so for more details, if you really like to know about the course and if you are turning up for this course, I'm totally happy with this to teach you there. But it depends upon you. Just discuss the financial stuffs and regular class, all those things you can discuss it with Rajesh. And yeah, hopefully that's all I have for today. And I wish everybody all the best and have a good night. And if you are going to office tomorrow, have a good day. And if you are doing work from home, have a good sleep.
Thank you. Thank you, Moore.
Thanks, Kumar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kumar.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you.